Because from the experience of carrying a deep wound, you and I know, my friend, how lonely and alienating it can be to just carry it all on your shoulders, just within yourself. That's why we need a tribe of people who are going to cheer you on. That's why you want a tribe, a personal tribe of your champions, your supporters, people who get you, people who understand you, people who are going to be there for you in times of struggle, in times of frustration, in times of strife, in times of dealing with all sorts of just difficult memories and the painful experiences that just tend to come up for us. That's part of life. But we gotta have those people around you. That's why I call it a personal tribe, because it's your personal tribe to you. Because listen, we used to live in a time where, we just used to belong to one group of people, whether this was, by religion, or whether this was around a sports club or whatever it was. But today, the more I look around people in my life, and people that I care about, or my friends, or we have this personal tribe of people who are like from different walks of life. Some of the people you might have worked with, some of the people in your community, some are just like friends from all over, some of the people you just kind of just affiliated with some way. Like for me, it's like maybe from a support group or something else, right? And as a result, these people, they might not have all that much in common, except you, right? Right? They have what they have in common is like you are the person who has different relationships with these people. And some of them might be your close friends, some of them just might be acquaintances, but you kind of care for them, right? They're part of your life. This is your tribe. And it doesn't mean that it's got to be perfect. It doesn't mean that it doesn't change or shift over time. But it means that you have a sense that there are people around you that care for you. There are people who want you to win. There are people who want you to do well in life. And that is just so critical. It's so critical because I know from experience that I didn't always have that. I remember like my time in my life when I was going through cancer. I remember there was a bunch of my friends who kind of disappeared from my life. I remember I was in hospital, and I was you're going through chemo, and I was like, it was after the surgery, and I felt so jealous of this guy next to me, in my ward, because he had all these friends and family. There was always somebody there. I was like, I was looking at him going, he was a great guy, but I was kind of going like, why aren't my friends coming over to see me? And then I just realized, it hit me that I realized, hold on a second, that's because, I'm in the hospital, and, it's got all this fancy equipment, right? And they must be jamming the signal, right? Why didn't I think of that before? So I just wanted to, test my theory. And I remember I went into kind of the main ward and kind of was dragging my drip with me. And it was, it was late at night, and I think most of the stuff's gone home, and it was kind of empty. But I saw this nurse's desk, over by the window, and it had like a landline, a phone on it. And so I made my way over there, and I had my, mobile beside me, and I just dialed my mobile number. Just to see what would happen, right? I didn't go whether it would go to voicemail, or maybe there would be like no access tone or whatever. I just wanted to check to see what would happen. And then something weird happened. Is my phone just rang. It started playing its silly jingle, and I just remember holding this mobile phone in my hand. I just couldn't take my eyes off it, because in that moment, I knew that no one is coming. And it was, for me, it was honestly tough to process. And it was one of those times where when I came back home after the treatment, like I realized I don't really have good friends in my life who truly care for me, you know? And I realized that I made the decision that I'm gonna make new friends. I'm gonna bring people into my life that care for me, that actually have a genuine interest in me, in who I am. And that became important to me. It became important to see, like, are people, like, are they listening? Are they also trying to make an effort? And, but also what was important to me, like building these relationships that are based on just my values and just enjoying time with these people, but also we need to make sure that they are there for me in the way that I want it to be. And it means that I can be there for them, because I feel like if we don't have these meaningful relationships with people, then it's just so alone, especially in times of crisis, especially when things are falling apart, especially when you feel like your life is falling apart. And, you know, you know what that's like, because maybe it's happened to you. And maybe you're still in that place in your life right now where things are in crisis. And if that's the case, I'm here to honor your experience, my friend. I know what that's like. And I want you to know that no matter how crazy the times are, please hold on to hope that things can and do change for the better. I believe in you. And whether you have your own tribe in your life right now, know this: you can have that personal tribe of people who truly care for you, people who champion you, people who are there for you. You deserve it. And you can bring that into your life, or you can build even stronger bonds with people in your personal tribe. Make it just, like, make it even closer for yourself. Make it something that you really know in your heart of hearts that you have these people that have got your back. They're there for you. Now, whether they know each other or not, that's besides the point. But whether some of them might be your friends, some of them might be your therapist, some of them might be your doctor, some of them people you work with, some of it might be your neighbor, some of it might be just this person you see once a week in class or a community group, whatever, however it works. You want to have people that got your back. And it starts with just deciding that this is what you need to have in your life. Making that decision that you're going to have that tribe around you all of the time. Because what happens when this crisis and difficulties come up at life, we're so often unprepared. And it's so much harder to go through things on your own. I know, because I've done it a bunch of times, and I don't want to do it again. And so today I want to share with you what I feel are 5 things that are absolutely vital towards building a personal tribe. And these 5 things, I think, are going to be it's really how to. It's like, what do you actually need to do to build a personal tribe and do it fast, or as fast as you can make it? Or if you already have a personal tribe, how to really just forge stronger bonds, or maybe bring even more people that you feel are going to support you and champion you at your side. Now, I also know that, it's not always possible to have everyone who like cheers you on. There are some people in your life who might not be really, making your life any easier. In fact, might be making it harder. So I think it's also possible to change those relationships so that they are at least more supportive, or at least they're not getting in your way as much as well. So that's what we're going to talk about as well. How do we do that? And I think that all begins with the T in tribe. For me, is sharing your truth. So often with people, especially when we meet them, or even when we interact with our friends or people we work with, so often we talk about superficial things, right? Because that's what everyone expects, right? That's what we see. That's like, we're supposed to talk about the weather. We're supposed to do what you did on the weekend and all of those things that don't really tell us anything meaningful. And as a result, we spend time with each other and talk about things that I feel nice, but they don't go deep. And the way to go deep is to share your truth. And what I say about truth is moments when you realize something, moments when you know something's changed in your life. It's usually a truth, I believe, is the insight that you earned. It was hard earned. You had to fight for it. You had to go and figure things out. You had to go and make change. Or something just struck you, right? You have those moments. And talking about those moments is vital. Let me tell you a story. Just recently, I was at a Pride march. I don't know if you know about your Pride, but it's kind of if you're gay or like it's anywhere from LGBTIQ plus identity, if that's how you identify yourself or you care about someone who is in that world. Like, it's a march where you kind of celebrate that culture, celebrate belonging, celebrate who you are. And we had the Pride march here in Melbourne, and I went there with a bunch of workmates. It was and I took my son along as well. And I've never been to one of those things, right? But it was cool because we had like all of our we got dressed with all this colorful stuff and the rainbow. And it was just great. Like, we were just like hanging out. It was just a huge crowd of people. It was so much fun. And like, there was like a film crew with like our kind of workplace. And I remember like they came up to me and said, "Listen, do you mind just being on video and talking about your experience?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so they said, like, "Tell us, why are you here?" And it was fascinating because I had to kind of check in with myself and go, why am I here? Because I don't identify as gay or, anywhere on that, LGBTIQ plus. And I guess it's just in the moment I said that for me, it's about being true to who you are. Staying true to who you are. And that is very true and very real for me in the moment. I think that was certainly a part of the answer, but I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking, like, coming back to it, going, I feel like there's more. Like, it's true, but there's kind of more there. And what I realized was that, going through rape as a child has kind of robbed me of my own sexuality for a long time, where I couldn't have sex. I was just felt frozen, and it just made my life like a total nightmare for many years. I was only, somewhere in my 20s, after doing an insane amount of, working on myself and self-help and personal development and just changing my life around, that I was able to turn that around and feel good about myself. And I feel like I kind of came out with my own sexuality, even though it's straight, right? But I came out with it in a big way. And I was living my truth. And that's maybe why I feel drawn or connected to that community in some way, because That was my own journey towards coming out. And so sharing that story for me with, friends or with people I met was powerful. Powerful for me, but it also was powerful for our connection because they felt that they knew that this was a truth. Right? Whether people knew about my story or not, it's kind of a hard-hitting story, right? So, but I felt that they instantly knew something deep about me. Not just the fact that I've been through trauma, but because I learned something about myself. I realized something that is profound for me. Now, it might not be profound for anyone else, but for me, it was a big moment. And I'm not saying that these truths, inner truth, something you realize about your own internal experience and how you see life and how you interact with life, I'm not saying that they always have to be these epic things that you're going to have to work through. But I do believe that whenever you share a personal truth, something you've figured out, something you learned about yourself, something you realized, and it usually revolves around the time that you made a choice about something. You made a decision about something. Those are the stories that land with people. If you already have a connection, you deepen that bond. If you've just met, you can just forge a connection because they've learned something vital about you. And it also makes them think about something for themselves that they have also realized that is so vital and that so often goes missing in our culture when, we move on with things. We forget about things. We don't talk about difficult or hurtful things or things that are important to us. I'm not saying every one of those has to be like some deep and profound realizations about life, but people will get it. People will connect with it. And if it doesn't really mean anything to them, that's fine as well. Like sometimes, people don't maybe have that connection with you. And maybe like your personal story or insight into life doesn't really resonate with them. And that's okay as well. And then you also instantly know that, maybe with this person, you are not going to connect. But I promise you this. The people you meet in your life and the people with whom you share those inner truth, those inner realizations about time that something changed, time when you made a decision, time you realized something profound and meaningful about your experience, even if it's something small. Those are the times that matter because these are the real moments that bring us together. Because they remind us of the deep times we learned about something about ourselves. That's why sharing your inner truth matters so much for building a personal tribe and forging deeper bonds with people in your life. The second thing is respect. When we build in our personal tribe, building connections, whether that's something that, this person you see once every 2 weeks, somewhere in your community, whether it's your neighbor you run into sometimes, whether it's someone you work with, or whether this is your spouse or your child or your best friend, we want to let them know that we respect their wants, needs, their aspirations in life. We respect their time. And that means that when you're with them, with that interaction, I think it's so vital to listen and really be in this moment with them. Because sometimes you don't get to, have all the time in the world with the person, right? But because we're always in such a rush, it feels like we're not giving people time. We don't get that time. And sometimes even a quick interaction but coming from a place where you respect their story, you respect that they are on their own journey, you respect that they're dealing with things as well, and you really just take the time to just be in a space with them, even if it's like in a crowded space, even if it's like, just 2 minutes, and, or maybe it's like just you haven't seen them in a while, but you really give that time and listen to their story, and you're really present, and you ask them insightful questions. And that's what really drives that deep and profound respect for people, respect for where they're at, their story. Man, it's so rare. Isn't it like the time when someone just sits down to truly listen and take in what you're saying? They're not thinking about what else they gotta do. They're not rushing somewhere else. They're not like trying to make a checklist of things they gotta do tomorrow. No, they're there. They're with you. They're listening. They're asking questions. You know they care about you because they're there in that moment. They're not somewhere else. They're not thinking about what happened. They're not thinking about the news. They are there in that moment with you. That's what really, drives up that respect. That's how people know you respect them. Is when you're there with them, listening, paying attention, showing that you care. Showing that you care. Showing that you respect them is when you're actually with them. That is the greatest gift we can give to someone, right? How special does it feel when someone is just truly there for you? How special does it feel for you when somebody truly takes a moment to listen and be there with you in that moment? That's powerful, my friend. Next up is in tribe, the I is intention. We gotta have that intention when we live our life to have that personal tribe. Intention that comes through in the conversations we're having, in terms of the connections we're building, in terms of the communities that we interact in, right? So often we go through life and we make friends or go into relationships just kind of because it happens, right? We never really think about it. That was for me for most of my life. And it just happened, I just ended up in this place and kind of seemed to click with this person, and that was fun and whatever. That's how things happen. And then it turns out that this person really doesn't care about me. Or it turns out that this person stood me up in some way. Or it turns out that this person disappeared from my life now. And, and there was no thought process that I ever gave to it. I never had the intention of, what sort of people do I want to have around in my life? I never had the intention to go, what, how do I want to be around people? What sort of friend do I want to be? What does it even mean to have a good friend? What does it mean for you? Because that's the conversation we never really have. What does it mean for you to have a good friend? Like, what does a good friend mean to you? Or what does someone who, is a friend, maybe not necessarily a close friend, but just a friend, someone you care about, what sort of expectations do you have for that? And what sort of expectations do you have on yourself as well? Right? Because we gotta have intentions about coming into really three things, right? We gotta have the right intention towards building a connection. We gotta have an intention towards having conversation with people that are meaningful. They're not just like random. We gotta have an intention for being part of a community. And actually seeing this as not just like a group of random people, but a community of people who want to belong. Because ultimately, whether people know it or think about it in this way or not, But we are all social creatures. We want to be around other people. We want to connect. We want to feel that sense of, being people who get you or like you or kind of understand you, right? And having that intention is such a powerful thing. It's all about just really coming in and just wanting things, wanting to have a connection, wanting to be part of a community, wanting to be a good friend, wanting to meet people, wanting to get to know them, wanting to get to understand them, wanting to understand what's driving them, what is important to them, right? We want to show that interest and have that intention that this is something that you proactively do. It's not just something that happens, but you have that intention. When you go out, that you actually have that intention to be with people, to make connections, to be part of something, to belong. And I know after being hurt or being mistreated or being cast out, I know that's a difficult thing to do. But I think that happens because we spend time, so much time, with people who don't really care about you. And because we just run into them because it's random, it's unpredictable. And yet when we are with people who care, when we are with people who truly take time to listen to you, that happens when we have that intention. I'm gonna meet people. I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm gonna get to know them. I'm gonna give them my time, and I'm gonna make an effort because I want to belong. That's what matters. That's setting the intention for having your personal tribe. That's vital. Next up, my friend, the B in tribe. I think this is absolutely required for building a personal tribe, is to be bold about your hopes, about your dreams, about your desires. Listen, so often in life we just talk about things that don't really matter. And very rarely do we talk about things that, truly affect you on a deep personal level. I just noticed that when I get around people and I say to them, I have a dream that I want to bring together a community of people who've been through trauma but aspire towards healing and living a happy life. I want to build a community of people where we can just be there for each other. And it's just close-knit community, and it's millions of people because we need it. We need that community. And this is the dream that I want to make that happen. And I noticed that just talking about it with people, I meet with people from different organizations, people I meet through work, saying to my friends, people look at you differently. Sometimes people, by the way, offer support and encouragement. Sometimes people don't, but it's such a rare thing, right? That people talk about things that they want from life, things that they aspire towards, things that they hope would happen. I mean, let me ask you this, right? When was the last time you spoke about your true hopes? Something you want to happen, your dreams, your desires. When was that for you? Because people need to know that. People need to know that because how are they going to support you or encourage you or be there for you if they don't know what you want? But B also, because that's what makes people reconnect with their own dreams, with their own hopes, with their own wants and aspirations and desires. Because guess what? They're also probably not talking about it. It's so rare. Because we're afraid to be judged, and we're afraid of, well, I mean, what if it doesn't turn out this way? What if, I want to build this global community? Like, what if it doesn't work out? Like, people will kind of laugh at me or say I'm a loser or whatever, right? Or maybe they will think like, who are you even to have these dreams? And that, I get it, that it brings up all sorts of things. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be bold, because you got to remind people about their own dreams, about their own wants, their own desires. And when you can remind them of that, and you actually open the door for them, maybe not even with you, but somewhere in your life, to talk about something that they really want. And this might be something that, it doesn't have to be some, really crazy and ambitious dream. Maybe it's just like, it might be a conversation with your spouse, and it might be like, listen, my real dream is that, when we talk to the kids, like, we're actually support each other, no matter what. Whether we agree each other or not, we can sort things out the back. But my dream is that we're on the same page, so they see us as a united front. Sharing something that is an everyday situation, but that is your aspiration, something you want, something that you feel is just going to make a big difference to you and your way of life, that changes things for people. And that helps us to build deeper connections with people. It helps us to make a new connection, because people are reminded about their own wants, needs, and desires. They are reminded that they can aim higher or share something true of themselves that perhaps they didn't have the courage to do before, and you've opened the door for them. So listen, let me ask you this. Just to consider for this one moment, what is one hope or dream or need that you have right now? What's something that's important to you? What's something that you wish was to happen? What's something that you would work towards? What's something that drives you on? What is something that you care about deeply and you want to make happen, or you wish would come into your life? What is that? Because reconnecting with that and sharing with that with others is bold. Make no mistake about it. But let me tell you that people will judge you for whether you being bold and share your dreams or hopes or ambitions in whatever way that is for you or not. Like, people will judge us anyway. So we might as well say what's real. Say what's important to you in this moment in time. That's what healing is about. That's what making connections is about. We gotta be bold, my friend. We cannot hold back. We gotta share what we aspire towards, what's meaningful for us. That's the way to connect. And to remind people that they gotta be bold as well. And last but not least is to build our own tribe. We gotta earn these relationships. We gotta earn that connection. We gotta earn people's time and sharing the trust and that bond and that understanding and that connection. For me, I remember when I was, single, and I knew I was miserable. I was miserable. I was also desperate, because I was in a place where finding any kind of relationship seemed impossible, because I literally couldn't have sex. When I was, I would meet someone and I was excited about them or whatever, but I just felt frozen. I literally couldn't get around. I couldn't have sex with a woman I met. That is not a good feeling. That is not great for your confidence, let me tell you. But deep down, I knew that I wanted love. I knew that I had so much of love to give. And And I just got immersed into this world of trying to find confidence, trying to believe in myself, trying to feel good about myself, trying to figure out what is it that I want, what kind of a person I want to be with in life, what kind of person I want to have in my life. And I realized that like I didn't want to just anyone, because I already been in a relationship that fell apart and hurt me so deep. I realized that I wanted to have I want to have true love. I want to have the person who's going to be amazing, who's going to make me feel in awesome way. I want them to be sexy. I want them to be just respect what I'm doing. I want them to respect and care for my dreams and my aspirations. I want them to be someone that I can rely on, someone I can trust. And I had all of this, like I was right about it, like I would think about it. But what's changed for me is I really I was thinking about it one day. I was like, I want this person. I've got this huge checklist of things that I want. And I was like, why would she want to be with someone like me? I realized if I want to find this incredible woman, this incredible human being I want to have in my life and love, I gotta be there myself. I gotta be the person that she wants to be with. I gotta earn that connection. I gotta earn that love. I gotta be at that level myself. And so there was a change in day because I realized I gotta be different. I gotta live into it. I can't just expect or demand things. I have to earn and make it happen myself. And that was a journey for me. I went on a journey of personal change, but I also had to change my own habits. I had to change my mindset. I had to change how I come across. I had to think about what sort of person that I want to be. And that was hard. That forced me to face some uncomfortable truths and realities about myself. But it also brought me a really humbling place in my life. I didn't just want things. I felt like I've been working towards my dreams, my desire, and I have earned that love. And finally, after several years of being on this journey, which was full of disappointments, but also moments of when I started winning, but I felt like I earned it because I fought so hard for it. I built up new skills. I changed things about me that helped me to find and meet her and attract this person into my life. It didn't just happen on its own. I had to earn it. So I'm not saying that's always easy, but I really believe that building connections in your life, building your personal tribe, keeping people you truly care about, having deep, lasting relationships and bonds, whether they're people you run into every now and again, or whether it's someone you live with, we have to be able to earn them. That's what having a personal tribe truly means. Personal tribe, my friends, means we cannot just take chances on this stuff. We have to share our own truth. We have to share it because A, it gives you clarity about your own experience, but B, it helps people get your values, what you're about, and helps to reconnect them to their own story and where they've been. So it's vital. We gotta respect their time, their story, their life, but really just being there to listen, whether it's, however much you interact with them, but making sure that you truly take time to listen, making sure that you truly pay attention to what they're saying. You truly take the moment to be there with them. That's respect. Is you taking the time to truly ask insightful questions, to be in the moment with them. That is what matters, my friend, so much. Then having the right intention. If we don't have the right intention to build or deepen relationships in our lives, it's just not going to happen. Or we are relying on kind of some random chance to keep it from happening. But when we think about it, when we like have intention for interacting with the people and showing our best side, or really trying to understand what this person is about, or really wanting to be part of the conversation, without that, it's very difficult to build any kind of sustainable relationship that really is meaningful and supportive for you longer term. Then we gotta be bold in sharing our true hopes, our dreams, our desires. Because for one, you are reminding people of their own needs, of their own wants, of their own aspirations in life. And they get to know yours. There is nothing like hearing about someone's wants, needs, and aspirations, because you really get to know what's driving them. They really get to know you, right? Whether they like it or not, but they get to know you. That's why I was asking you, what is something that you hope will happen? What is something that you hope will turn out for you? What is a dream that you might have? What is that you truly, deeply desire that other people may not even know about? That's how people can get behind you. That's how people can get support you and understand where you're coming from. Because you're being bold. You're not holding back. You're sharing what's true for you right now, what you want, where you're going. And last but not least, we gotta earn those relationships. We gotta earn that sense of belonging. We gotta earn that sense of deep and profound connection. And I think that's an incredibly liberating thing. Because it means it just doesn't happen on its own, but you make it happen. That means it's predictable. That means that it's not just a random thing that you just ran into. You can make it happen in your life. Right now, I am proud to say that I have different people from different walks of life who many of them don't know each other and probably will never know each other. But I feel I have a deep sense of connection with different people in different ways. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it because I've earned it. And it's taken me time. And I know it keeps on changing and some things will shift and change. But I want you to know that you can build from nothing, from having no support and no connection and no sense of your own personal tribe, to be in a place where you feel understood. You feel that there's people in your corner cheering you on, people who are your champions, people who are your supporters, people who believe in you, people who want you to win. And that's why you can go into life and chase your dreams and deal with the struggles and try your best and show up, because you know there's people backing you up, my friend. That's what matters. I'm honored for you being part of this conversation, because I know it's hard, but I also know it's so necessary for us. I want to thank you for being here today, because listen, I know it's hard. I know how lonely life can be and how difficult it is to be facing our fears, our worries, and feeling that vulnerable. And that's why having people around you is not only vital, but you can make it happen. And you can make it happen starting today. To have people who truly care about you, you deserve it so much. please know that I'm here for you and I'm cheering you on. You can do this. You can have the personal tribe that will be there for you, that gets you, that's there for you, that's here in your life. My name is Joe Bakhmutsky. I'm the founder of Power to Be Happy. And my friend, I want to remind you once again that you have this incredible superpower to be happy, to seek greater clarity in everything that you're doing, to show up at your best every single day, and to hold on to hope. No matter how crazy things get in life, and they do get out of control, and the world's in crisis, and things go wrong, I get it. Hold on to hope. That even things that are outside of our control can change. And they can change for the better. Thank you for being here.